Hello, mis amigos. Welcome back to my channel. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hey, since we're on the start of a new year for real estate, I wanted to give you guys the top 5 areas around Seattle, or better yet, King County, that are emerging. 5 areas that have outperformed the county average in regards to price growth. Some of them also doing the same, exceeding the average, the county average, when it comes to sales volume, and a couple of them doing really well, beating the average when it comes to absorption of inventory, or you and I might call it days on market. Now, 2 areas. One of them, yeah, you might have heard of. The other one, you know, when I do real estate, I had to double check. I'm like, oh yeah, I think so. So you probably have never heard of this area, but I'll let you know in just a second. First off, I'd like to say I'd greatly appreciate subscribing to my channel and liking it, and possibly turning on notifications. That way, every time I upload a video, it might be that one video that helps you buy or sell real estate in 2026. So we're gonna start with number 5, a highly desirable area. I would say 90% of my buyers would love to live there, but they can't afford it. But it's an emerging area, and that area would be Kirkland, which one of my buyers was telling me that's not part of Juanita. No, yeah, Northwest MLS calls that Kirkland. Okay, so here are your numbers. This is why it makes the top 5 list of emerging areas around Seattle and King County. Now, we're doing year over year, December 2024 to December 2025. Down here, you can see down here, that is the county average. You can compare with these numbers. So price appreciation, $2.2 million in 2024, increased to $2.6 million in 2025, an increase of 16%. That's the second best increase in this top 5 list. That's awesome. And what does that tell you? It tells you that there is a renewed confidence amongst the high-end buyers. Now, the other 2 numbers, not as good. Let's just call it that way. Not as good. If you look at sales volume, there was a decrease of only, 2%, less than 2%, and days on market, a whopping 75%. Now, that's not good, you know, but it does kind of consistent with what we call the luxury market, you know, because the price would lead volume. It always leads when it comes to, again, luxury. The luxury market always leads sales volume and days on market, but the sales volume will increase as the year goes on. Now, number 4 on the list, this is the one I said you've likely never heard of it. I'm sure you probably never heard of it. And this area would be called Jovita. I'm Latino, so I'm going to say Jovita, right? Jovita, Julian, where the hell is Jovita West Hill? There is Auburn. Right down here, that's Tacoma. So if you come down the 405, when you get the front away, look to the east. That part is Jovita West Hill. So this is why it makes the top 5 list. So when you look at these numbers, guys, it could be an early good opportunity. December 2024, December 25. 2024, the median sales price was $630,000, an increase of $700,000, an increase of 11%. That is great. When you look at the price appreciation average for the county, it's 3%. Okay, so you can see why this area makes our top 5 list. Sales volume also very strong, and that's 32%. So what it's showing us here that there's strong buyer interest. You know, although if you look at days on market, that's terrible. 56 days on the market, increase 8%. But again, what do I tell you? I've told you before, days on market, the higher it is, the better it is for you, a lot of you buyers. But when you combine all those metrics together, it kind of reflects a little bit of what they call normalization of the market after rapid growth, right? Things were just shooting, you know, straight out of the universe when it comes to price, and days on market, you know, they didn't last long. Property didn't last long, but it's kind of a little bit stabilization, if you want to call it that. So this is an area to keep an eye on. Now, moving on to number 3 on our list, and this is an area that I really like. If you ever driven down to Mount Rainier's, most likely you've passed through Enumclaw, okay? Enumclaw, there you see Black Diamond right there. Auburn's on this here. Beautiful little area of the world. A lot of land out there. I've had a lot of buyers recently, I don't know why. They've asked me, hey, Julian, I see this area by Enumclaw land. I want to build a house. So this might be an area you might want to drive by and say, huh, man, it's a little bit better than I thought. This is why it makes number 3 on our list, and it gets the bronze medal. Enumclaw, year over year, price appreciation, $625,000 to $700,000, an increase of almost 12%. So guys, this might be another good opportunity by continuing to look at these numbers, which are really good, okay? So you look at sales volume, Okay, and it increased year over year by as much as 25%. Although the days on market did decrease to 62 days, which is good. 62 days, but it's still good because you're seeing that days on market come down, and that, of course, that's obviously great. Now, this is kind of classic early signals of a positive emergence, which buyers, at least savvy buyers, have discovered early on. And I want to give you these numbers that now, so then you could kind of maybe put that on your maybe list and take a drive. It might be an area that you might like and join those savvy buyers that have found this area desirable before everybody else does. All right, guys, now moving on to number 2 on our list, or the Silver Award winner for the top 5 list of emerging areas around Seattle and King County. And it's an area that, like I told you at the top video, you probably heard of that. At least one section that you definitely heard of. The other area, maybe not. But it's an area you should keep an eye on. Number 2 on our list would be Richmond Beach, Shoreline. Obviously, Shoreline, you've heard Chris Cornell, right? The land of God, right there, right? Richmond Beach, it's alongside this little area. Innis Garden, these whole area, I know really. Highlands, you can't afford that. I mean, you gotta be really important to get in. How do I know that? Because real quick, during the pandemic, I just didn't want to stay home. I wanted a job and real estate was dead. So I got a job at FedEx. And my route was this area. And to get into the Highland, this is the Seattle Golf Club, Country Club right there. Really nice. But you could only get in this area, the Highlands, with heavy security. It's amazing. People are not rich out there. They're wealthy. There's a big difference there. Anyways, Richmond Beach, this whole area, spectacular. Now, this is why it makes our top 5 list of areas in Seattle, King County that are emerging. Here are numbers. Appreciation, 15%. That's amazing. From 847 in 2024 to 970. Now, the sales, that kind of was terrible because you look at 51% from 39 units to 19 units, but it shows a price strength and evidence with the 14.5% increase. And for buyers, there's at 14%, it's showing that they're willing to pay a premium for a house that they really like in a really nice area. And there are areas all over Shoreline. I don't care what anybody says that are kind of like really nice. Maybe, I'll admit, if you're closer to 99, Aurora, some areas are, you and I know, a little bit sketchy, but I think they're very fabulous areas on either side. Now, number 1 are the top 5 areas around Seattle, King County, of emerging areas, is an area that, I'm not gonna lie, 99% of my buyers would love to live. I've sold there, I've listed homes out there, and they get gobbled up really quick. But these numbers are showing that this is the top for a reason. The 3 metrics that we're showing you, right? Price growth, sales volume, and days on market. This is the best. Number 1, what do you think? Bellevue, east of the 405. I'm not showing you west of the 405 around Medina. I call it Medina where I come from, right? Medina. And I didn't show you Mercer Island because those numbers are just crazy. We're talking about, you and I know, $3, $4, $5 million. So I kind of excluded those 2 little areas. But this area is highly desirable. That also encompasses the entirety of what is Lake Sammamish. So here's the numbers. Why is it number 1? Why does it get the gold medal? It gets the hat trick for the 3 metrics: price growth, sales volume, and days on market. Price appreciation is number 1 of the top 5 areas that I gave you at 18%, $1.4 million in 2024, increased to $1.7 million for a single family residential home. The county average is 3%. Sales volume, 80%, number 1 on our top 5 list. Sales volume average around the county is 3%. And you see right there, days on market, a decrease, which is great for sellers, as much as 3%. And what all this is kind of suggesting here is that there's a shift, this area from emerging to really a high confidence growth area. So get in there now before things really get whacked. A lot of people out there looking to buy are looking to upgrade on what they have right now, and also investors. That's what we're seeing a lot there, more investors, and that's what these numbers suggest. People looking to upgrade and also investors. What do you think of the top 5 list? Not bad, no? Did I catch you on Jovita? Guys, these areas, again, are just my opinion, are the areas that are emerging county according to the numbers I was looking at, and I was crunching those numbers. If there's an area that you live in any county around Washington State, because I've done business in Walla Walla, I've also done business out in Yakima, let me know, and I'll gladly do it for you in my next video. Again, what do you think? Top 5, would you kind of shift one over? Do you think maybe number 3, maybe Jovita should be at number 2 because of the cost? What do you think? Let me know. Guys, good luck to you guys. Have a great and safe 2026 in regards to buying or selling real estate.